Thomas.
Hello.
I want to know something that is not sexual that turns you on.
Oh.
Something that's not physical.
Oh.
Well, it can be physical, but it's not just like an attribute of someone.
Right. First thing that swiftly kicks into mind, it's a little physical, but not quite.
Okay.
Once upon a time, I had a female grab my tie.
Oh.
I was wearing a suit, and she grabbed my tie and sort of to look at it like, this is a nice tie, kind of, and I nearly blacked out. I don't know.
It wasn't even a come here. It was just like, oh, this is a nice tie.
No, it was.
Like,
we were already standing close, so mayhaps a little too close already. And in the conversation, she reached out and grabbed my tie.
Wow.
Gee whiz. If anyone, all and sundry that are listening, I'm sorry, and to my darling girlfriend, I'm sorry. But everyone just... Yeah,
grab a tie.
There was not even yanking, no choking, just heaven.
Yeah.
Do you have an answer to your own question?
If someone's doing housework and I haven't asked them to, oh baby.
The chore, the unasked for
I know
chores.
that seems really ridiculous, but in my fantasy, I haven't asked for it. I haven't. It's just I get home and he's just vacuuming, and I'm like, this is just
In your scenario, you're sitting there doing nothing, observing him clean your house.
I'm probably filming it and putting it on Instagram and being like, look at this hottie, and putting some sexy music behind it, to be honest.
Yeah, and that'll do it. That'll
and then 5 minutes later, when you see me post that reel of this imaginary man, you know we're doing it after that.
Gee whiz.
So this is a main episode,
yes,
which means that we've got a guest. I'm Liz Best. I'm here with Tom Harris.
Hello.
This is Ghosts of Boyfriends Past. And today we have a guest joining us on Zoom from all the way across the country. We've got Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Liz. Hi, Tom.
Thank you so much for taking time out to join us, especially since you are literally all the way across the country from us. We had Sarah write in with a little bit of a story that she thought would be funny, and I agreed. So I wrote back and said, when can you come on? And it took us a little bit of toing and froing to work it out, because everyone has lives, and I totally get that.
Yes, we love when anyone gets in contact, a question, advice, whatever. So to write in your little story is one thing, and we thank you for doing that. But then to back it up with the bravery to come on microphone and talk about it, that's not easy to do. So those of you at home who have a story up your sleeve and still haven't found the confidence to write in and appear on the show, take a page out of Sarah's book, I think, and
just do it.
Just do it,
We
please.
love it. So, Sarah, we're going to go through the rules because we have to, because
Yes.
that's the rules.
Yes.
Number one rule is figure out an alias. If you can't remember the person whose name you're talking about, then that's even better. The second one is no threats on mic. That's usually rule number 3, but I thought I'd move it up this week for no other reason other than I
all right.
forgot what the other rule is. What's our other rule?
Oh, if you figure out who Sarah is and who she's talking about today, we don't want any doxing, sharing of information,
Not what we're
sharing of
about.
addresses, phone numbers, etc.
No.
My email address is on enough spam lists that it doesn't need to be shared out even more, please. And that's
You
it.
can contact Tom on... No. So, Sarah, what I'd love to do today is start from the very beginning of this. So, in the little thing that you wrote in, you mentioned that you went on a couple of dates with this person. So how did you meet them, and tell us about those dates?
So I must admit, I actually met this guy in a bar.
That is a traditional way to meet back in the day.
And I was on a high because I did a running race the week before and I did quite well. So I was still living the glory. And it's like all those nights where you go out. We went to the movies, my friends and I, and then we went for one glass of wine late. And then 2 a.m. later, we're still at the bar. Yes, one of those nights. And I met this guy out, and let's call him Dave. Very common name. Also, we have a habit of, when it's a night like this, going back to my best friend's house, who lives very close to me, and having a disco as well, continuing on the party.
Amazing.
It is amazing. So this guy, Dave, that I met out had really good dance moves. So we're like, come back. to my friend's place.
That's something that's
And-
hot, that's not sexual. You watch someone do good dance moves and all of a sudden you're like, I am into this.
I'll even say the dance moves don't even have to be good. An eagerness to dance, a
Yeah.
willingness to dance, I think will get you halfway there.
Yeah, and then we're back at my best friend's place, and he was like, I can do the dirty dancing move for you. You know how, yeah, so we were attempting that, but I got a bit scared because we're all a little bit intoxicated. And then,
Now, how do we want to describe to people the Dirty Dancing dance to those who haven't seen it?
you know where Patrick Swayze, they're in the water and they have to practice the lift?
Hot. Love
high
it.
up
Yeah.
high up above the head, generally. Yes.
Yeah, and they're practicing in the water to get it right, but we were practicing in my best friend's lounge room.
Now,
So,
Sarah,
yeah,
that sounds
hence getting-
dangerous.
yeah, but still quite hot at the time. And so I live very close. So I said, I'll just come back to mine. And like nothing happened that night. I was like, I'm just really tired. I need to go to sleep. And he said, fine. And then the next morning he's like, stay in bed. And I said, no, I meet my friends running. And he said, look, I said, let's go on a date. And he said, okay. So, a couple of weeks later, that's when I had time to go on a date because I am actually a very busy person. And we went on this date and, within 5 minutes, it's just not going to
Yeah, you get that
be your
feeling,
person.
you get the ick, you get there's something that's just not clicking, even if they're good on paper.
Yeah, you know what? He was part of an acting troupe.
Yeah,
And he,
that'll do it.
and he was saying he was going back to his profession. So we talked about was he actually applying for jobs? And he said no. And anyway, and I was in the middle of looking to buy a house. So it wasn't really going anywhere. Like the conversation was quite forced. So I said, I have to go look at some houses, which was true.
Mm.
And he said, oh, can we meet up after you look at houses? And I'm really bad at saying no.
Yeah.
So I said, sure.
Oh no.
So
Can I get
So
the
this
timeline?
guy-
Sorry, can I get the timeline? You're on a date. You say I need to leave this date to look at houses. He says after that, can we meet back up again? Is that correct?
yeah, so we met for brunch around 10:30, I think.
Okay.
And we had like a 1.5 hour, 2 hour brunch kind of thing.
Sure.
And then it's around like 12 o'clock that I was like, I need to go look at home opens. And then he said, can we meet up for a late lunch after? So this guy went and had a nap in his car while
Oh no. No, Sarah, no. I don't like that.
and so we went and so I met up for a late lunch with him about one suburb over. And then I am notoriously terrible at saying I don't want to do this again. And so he tried to kiss me and I don't like kissing in public. So I said, goodbye, let's do this again because I'm terrible.
It's like that Friends episode. You've seen that Friends episode,
Yeah,
right? Where
Chandler.
Chandler's
I am
like,
like
that's
that."
great. I loved it. Let's do it again sometime. And he's like, what is wrong with me?
That's me. I am Chandler. Except I haven't been handcuffed to the...
Not yet.
No, not yet. To the, what was it?
It was a filing cabinet, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
For anyone who's
I
too
did-
young, Friends is a sitcom that happened in the 90s.
Yeah. Most popular show on television for like 10 years, I think.
Yeah, so
yes.
yeah.
Anyway, so we organised another date, which was actually, I said I'll cook you dinner at my place for a few reasons. I get overeating out of the time.
Mhm.
It gets expensive. And also I was living with my friend's mum at that time. So I also had someone in the house. So I felt safe.
An
Yeah,
ally.
of course.
So yeah, I wouldn't have done that if I was living alone. So we went on a walk first, and within the first 5 minutes of the walk, I said, I don't think this is going to go. I used the excuse, I'm just too busy. I had to take today off work to make some offers on houses, which was true.
Mm.
And I just said, I don't really have time for dating. And he said, are you still going to cook me dinner? And I said, yes, I can cook you dinner.
You said you did. You said you
Yeah.
would.
Oh, no.
So on this walk you're together, is it the same feelings as when you're on that first date, that first
Yeah,
time, that same undescribable kind of gut
Yeah,
feeling?
just not me.
But
And
you
so
backed it up and cooked dinner.
I cooked him dinner. He said it was delicious. Then he had brought dessert over, so he wanted to eat the dessert. And he sat I sat on one chair, and he sat right next to me. And I said, "You realise there are other seats."
Dropping that
See,
hit order.
that's
that
good.
hint
That's a little bit of the energy that we need to attack the "you realise I'm not interested in you" conversation.
Yeah,
you're getting there.
Said, yeah, it was like 8:30 at night. I go to bed really early, and I said, "I'm really tired. I need to go to bed." So he said, "Okay," and then he tried to kiss me again. And I said, "Oh, good night." Like I was shoving him out the door. And he said, "Oh, if you're into anything, you're too busy for a relationship. But if you want anything casual."
No.
And I said, "No, good night."
You did, read the room. She's just said no to a kiss. I feel like she doesn't want anything casual. Dude.
Yeah, you're in my house. I didn't say yes to a kiss. Yes, all that kind of stuff.
I was forced to cook you dinner because I don't like confrontation.
Yeah, exactly. And now I will bring up the texts. So after that, he continues to text me.
Can I inquire how when you said goodbye in person, what was that what was that last minute of your sort of interaction together? Just a quite formal goodbye,
Yeah, I didn't kiss him. I said good night, and I shut the door.
Shut the door. That's it.
That's a clear message in my mind.
It's pretty cut and dry.
The 20th of June, he messages me. Been a while, hey, back from Adelaide, because I have to go to Adelaide for work. And I said, "Hi, Dave. Sorry for the delayed response, which was on the 23rd of June. I've been snowed under with work and life and illness. Adelaide trip got moved. Man, it's so cold at the moment." 25th of June, he messages me again. "Hey, life does get busy. I was sick too, better now, but I think it was what everyone in Perth had. It is damn cold, hey. Going to sleep cold is not fun." Mm-hmm. On Friday, the 25th of June, he messages me at 10 to 12 at night.
Okay.
"How's your Friday night?" I just don't respond.
No, because normal people, well, me, I'm asleep then.
I was asleep, but also I'm not texting back a guy who I have told I don't want to see at almost midnight on a Friday.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. So the Sunday after that Friday, he says, "Hi." This is where the texts start. And I just didn't even read it when I woke up on Monday. Honestly, it was more for self-preservation. I was like, this isn't going to do you any good. And then I read it a year later with my friend.
A year later? That's some time to wait between. Did you just rediscover it and go, "Oh my God, I realized I didn't read this text"?
No, I didn't. I was telling her about the story when we went on a walk and dinner one night, and we were just talking about bad dates, and she was talking about this one instance when she was doing some online dating during the pandemic, and video dating was coming in, and some guy wouldn't put on his camera.
No, red flag.
So she ended the call, but I was like, "Have I got a story for you?"
Yes.
Yes. So I went back and I dug up this message, and it was the first time I read it with my friend, and we just couldn't stop laughing. So this guy says, "Hi, Sarah. I genuinely do hope your weekend was good. You're doing okay and you're not sick anymore." Smiley face. "I'm messaging to say I don't think anything serious will work out between us." Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. You take over this. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that tickled me.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Don't worry. It goes on.
Oh,
Read the rest in your if you're in an okay headspace, please.
Oh no, poor Sarah. I just hope that you can deal with my rejection. Okay, continue.
I think you're a cool girl amongst other positives, but I know my value as an emotionally switched on and genuinely considerate man. So I am, so I am not confused why you have been, so I am confused why you have been so sparse in getting back to me. I don't think it's okay to ignore and hope the other person gets the message. No, I think if you don't want to continue anything, then say it in words, not in silence. And if you do, then say it, not silence.
You did say it
I know.
several
I
times.
know.
You said it, and then he said, "Can you still cook me dinner, though?" And then the food made his brain go scrambled and forget that you said that.
Yeah. I know
just-
life has been. Yeah.
Keep going.
Sorry. I know life has been busy for you lately, but it always will be. So I think you would be doing yourself a disservice if in the future you ignore or play hard to get or prioritize work over responding to them. It's only going to hurt you, in my opinion.
Tom, explain what my face is doing right now.
It's nearly audible shock, I think would be the way to describe
The
it.
audacity, though.
This is delicious.
Audacity.
I could snack on this exchange all day long. This is delicious.
Yes, let me mansplain how to be a woman dating to you, shall I?
Yeah. There's when I reread it, I was like, oh God, here we go. And I said, and then it continues.
Oh, God.
I know this is all sounding super formal and probably wankier than how I convey it in person. And you're probably thinking, where the hell is this funny Dave guy who dances Jamiroquai and does acting? And I was like, when I was reading it to my friend, I was like, yeah, he is actually a really good dancer. Like, just
to be fair, give him the
to be
credit.
fair. Yes. Well, fair enough. I am that Dave still, ha. But like I said from our first date, I will always be honest with you. And to be frank, whilst I mean no spite or hate, I'm hurt from people in my life who are dishonest by the words they do or don't say, both women in my past and men in my family right now. Maybe I've got the wrong end of the stick. Maybe you'll feel better by filling in the blanks. I feel better getting that all off my chest, and I owe you the same if you need to message me back. Everyone should find someone and wish you good luck in finding yours, Dave. But it continues.
Oh, shit. All right.
I get another message after this.
Okay.
Sorry, that was overload if you're reading that Monday morning and still snowed under with everything. I'm regretting not sending it in the morning instead.
Oh, man.
Like that would make a difference.
Like that would make a difference. You still said the same dumb things, Dave.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Is that? I hesitate to ask. Are we done? Is that?
No, we're not done.
Holy fuck!
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
keep going. Tom is loving it.
I said, well, I went into like management mode.
Yeah.
And I said, hi, Dave. Thanks for this message. I've been meaning to message you. Have been a very few tough weeks for me with work. Look, you were super polite and we really did have fun that night we met. However, I do feel that we are on different life paths. Sorry I was not as fast getting back to you. I really do appreciate the text message above and the time it took. And good luck to you as well.
That's very kind response. I would not have been so kind,
Very
but that is a very
diplomatic.
considered, diplomatic and kind response that addressed your feelings on the matter and also gave him a little thank you for your time.
I was also a little bit scared because he knew where I lived.
Of course.
Yeah.
And this is something that a lot of guys don't consider is that when we're responding to you, there is a lot of times when if someone knows where we live, we don't know how you're going to respond, and we need to temper that response because there are, and I'm not saying it's just gendered, but traditionally, statistically, guys can go crazy on people, and when they get their feelings hurt, it can get dangerous. So we do have to temper our responses.
Yeah. Don't worry. It hasn't finished.
Okay. I'm not, I am worried, but.
So, yeah. And okay, he said, "Hey, Sarah, cool, good response. And yes, it did sound like work has been super rough for you. That sucks. By the way, I was in a bit of a mood last night for other reasons. Sorry. I hope you didn't take it to heart too much. Doesn't sound like it, which is good. And yes, that was a dope fun night of dancing, wasn't it? Ha ha. No dancing for a bit. Looks like we're in lockdown." So it doesn't end. There's one more text
Oh,
message
God. Okay, I'm bracing myself.
on 3rd of August. "Hey, it's Sarah. I haven't changed my mind about the above stuff, but are you still single? Thoughts on a bit of a one night stand?"
Oh.
Yeah. And I just text back. Yeah, well, I just text back saying, "No thanks." And I blocked him.
Brilliant.
Yes,
Brilliant.
as
Yes.
you should. This
Our producer Zane just went from looking super fucking exasperated to pissing himself laughing
Yes.
at the what a bit of a one night stand. Like, dude, this is his problem, right? He's not reading the room. He's like, "You didn't say anything." Yes, she did several times.
your man himself said, I haven't got the wrong end of the stick. My friend, you need to learn what a bloody stick is. If you have any hope of getting near grasping one, good Lord, he misread the room. He rode in the white elephant into the room on that white elephant. Good
And
Lord.
tried to take, I can't get over. So for me, Sarah, the audacity is in trying to take control of that conversation. Like you had made yourself clear, but he needed to be the one to let you down to make him feel better about himself. Like he needed to think that you were in despair rather than both just agree that you're not good together. My
I know.
God.
Normally, I'm one for looking for nuance in stories or sides and exploring it, but for this one, I'm all in on just pointing and laughing at this man and his responses. So early in the piece was he sort of denied or sort of not even denied, sort of politely rebuffed and then to just misread.
Just misread, but willfully ignore.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Wow. I was laughing at the beginning and I had to stop myself from continuously laughing
I
at
would have
this
laughed
man,
through the whole
at
fucking
this
thing
man.
if people didn't need to hear your story. That was absolute. It was delicious. It was so bad, and I'm so glad that you read those, messages like a year later. Kind of, because oh my goodness, at the time I think I would have been really upset or afraid but oh my God, bloody
So that's why
actors.
I
Hey
didn't
Tom.
read them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I didn't read them, was because I knew it wasn't going to do me any good at the time. And so going back a year later and being like, "Oh, this is actually quite hilarious."
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you go through something like that, you get those hilarious text messages. What do you think your overall lesson? What have you learned from this particular experience?
I think I need to be more forthcoming, like not saying I'm too busy or something, saying I don't think we should date, basically, or we're on different life paths. This isn't going to work out because obviously I didn't. I think it was that, because obviously I don't think anything would have stopped this. Like after I said no several times, he was like, "Still want to casually hook up?"
I don't think I don't think you should be blaming your communication here in any way, shape, or form. Like I guess that internally you might feel like you want to, say the exact "please get out of my life" words. But I honestly think that I think you made yourself pretty clear, and he just chose to ignore that.
There might be a small case for being better at just saying no instead of being like dragged to another event because we can't say no. We can't say no.
No is a complete sentence.
Yes, absolutely. And so that might be a small life lesson, but all of the foibles are on Master Dave, and he's just ill-advised use of text messages after sort of getting I think we're done here. You cut your losses, mate. There's more. Get back out there.
I know to all the Daves out there, not really Daves, but people who act like Dave. I know that your ego is hurting when somebody that you like isn't on the same page as you, but you don't need to take control of that conversation and make it like you dumped them. You could just agree that it's not going to work.
What are the odds that you're going to convince someone or like talk them into it's not a debate where you can be like,
no one's ever going to be begged into a relationship.
Yeah,
well, actually, they will be, and that's why we have this podcast.
That's very, very true. But I mean, come on. Yeah.
I've learned to listen. And, my lesson from this is listen to the person who's talking to you, and not just the words that they're saying, but the doors that they're slamming in your face and the dinner that they're begrudgingly cooking you. Like, read the context.
Look, I must say, I've done stupid things in the past as well, but it's with people that I've, had relationships with or something like that, not being on 2 dates with and being told, I don't want to date you. So I just think it wasn't eager, it was creepy.
Yeah,
totally. My little lesson would be respect. Respect not only for the person you're talking to and sending message, not just respect for other people, but respect for yourself.
Yeah,
like
man.
To go, hang on, I'm not going to bombard this person with messages or make them or anything. I'm going to have some little bit of self-respect and just sort of know when to bow out and not get dragged down by my ego or anything sort of toxic on top of that.
And if you've sent a text that says, I'm sorry for the, word vomit, I was in a bad mood.
Yes.
That's enough. You don't then need to send a text apologizing for the text, apologizing for the word vomit. And then, if someone doesn't really reply, then that's probably the end of that conversation. You need to sit with it. One good lesson that I've learned from this is if you think something's going to hurt your own feelings, don't look at it until a lot later. And I think that's one really great thing that you managed to do, Sarah, is that you had a very clear boundaries on what was going to make you feel uncomfortable, and you shut that out of your life. You're like, I'm not going to deal with this until I'm in the mind frame to deal with it.
Ignorance sometimes
and then it's
is
hilarious.
Bliss. Yeah. Sarah, I would hang on to those text messages for the rest of your life, because you and girlfriends for the rest of time we'll have a great giggle over this exchange you've had with Mr. Dave.
It just went forever. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh, and look, if you, like Sarah, have a dating story that you just dine out on with your friends, that you've told at bars, that you're like, well, have I got a story for you? Then have the story for us. We'd love to have you on and have a chat about it and dissect exactly what was wrong with the person that you're dating, because that's so much fun for us.
Yes, if it's a story, if it's not just a story, if it's a question for us, for our question-themed quickies, send them in. We'll take advice. We'll take compliments.
Yeah.
We'll take a little bit of well-constructed, thought-out criticism, but nothing too
nothing too harsh. I might cry. But look, thank you so much, Sarah, for taking the time to chat with us. That
Round
was
of applause, everyone
so
at home.
enjoyable.
Great stuff.
And I just think that there's a lot of good lessons to be learnt in that particular one regarding communication and, knowing when to stop. People, if you have to overthink it, dear God, stop. Until next time, I've been Liz Best here with
Tom Harris. Text responsibly, I reckon.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.